What's up everyone, Erika here, and I'm back today with another video for you. Okay, so if you saw the beginning of this tutorial, you saw how I achieved this foundation and these brows and all that good stuff. So the next step in my whole process of getting ready would be eyeshadow, then eyeliner, then false lashes. So let's go ahead and jump into eyeshadow. I am going to show you guys my signature look that I tend to go for every time I have a special event. It's just my home, my home base, and I feel like you've probably seen me do this look 1,000 times if you've seen any of my tutorials, so I am gonna probably go through this a little quick. Okay, so I'm going to be using a palette that hasn't been given much love lately, but I do adore this palette. I'm talking about the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. It smells amazing. I just, look at these colors, you guys. It's beautiful. This is kind of my range here, these kind of like burnt reds, if you will. So I'm going to be using a kind of warm brown color like this. This one is called Puree. So if you have any color that's similar to this, it's just a light warm brown. That's what I'm going to be using for my transition shade. The color Summer Yum is like, I want to call it like a terracotta burgundy red, burnt red, but it's a little more muted than other ones. So I'm going to use that color. And then I will probably be using this, either the color Nectar or the color Lucious. One of these two. This one's more of a champagne. This one's got a little bit more of a yellow undertone. So I will be using either of those on my lid. That's what I like to do. I like to keep those kind of warm colors, warm neutrals on the crease and on the outer corner to deepen it up a little bit. And then I will use a really bright shimmer shade right on the lid. So first I'm going to pick up Puree with my handy dandy Sigma E40. This brush completely has like the name off of it because I use this brush so frequently, but it's my favorite. It just does all the dirty work for me. So the first thing you're going to want to do is just place this on the outer corner of your eyes. This step, you guys, is just not, I don't want to say it isn't important because it's actually extremely important, but as far as your technique, there is no technique to this. You literally, if you feel like you're doing this incorrectly, it's probably just because you're not spending enough time doing it, because all you need to do is stick this brush beneath your brow bone. You can feel it. You can feel where your brow bone is. It's right here. You stick this brush beneath it and that is your crease. So once you find that, I feel like it's very easy to stick to it, and that's all I'm doing. I'm just dispersing this color because we don't want harsh lines. So if you're new to makeup and you're just learning and you're kind of trying to advance your technique here, one thing you definitely do not want are those harsh lines. So you need to spend a good amount of time, and if you have a really good brush, you won't need to spend as much time doing it, but you really just need to blend out that eyeshadow to make sure there are no harsh lines. So when I say harsh lines, you don't want to just stick the color there, blend it once, and then it's a very harsh transition from like skin to eyeshadow. Here you can see it's kind of a gradient effect. That way you don't see the harshness of your skin to eyeshadow. If you can see now, I even bring the eyeshadow all the way into the inner corner just so there aren't any harsh lines from skin to shadow. And now you can see that it's kind of just a nice little blend of shadows all over the eye essentially. So next I'm going to take a little more of a tapered brush. This is my MAC 217. This is one of my favorite brushes for this specific technique I'm going to use. I just grab the brush and I just poke it directly into the color I'm going to use, and then I will push it right into where I want it, like so. And now what I'm doing is I'm just gently moving this shade around. If you notice, I'm not necessarily bringing it in this way the way I just did the other shadow, but I'm leaving it in this kind of corner area. And the nice thing about these shadows, they're neutral, but they're a little on the darker side, is they're very easy to work with because they are similar to the first shadow we laid down, just in a shade darker. I'm just adding more because it's not as dark as I want, so I'm still adding that same color. It's really buildable, which is great. Okay, so now that I feel like it's nice and dark on the outer edges, I'm gonna go ahead and apply the shade that I was mentioning before. It's this color called Lucious. So I'm just picking it up with my finger. As you can see, I feel like this picks up pigment so well. And if you can see, just me placing it on with my finger, it's almost better than if I would have used a brush. I don't know how or why that happens. I know people have said that like the warmth of your skin just does something to colors, but I don't know the science behind that. I'm just here telling you that this looks real good. Yeah, I'm really glad I went with that color. It's a really beautiful pop. So now, since obviously we didn't do any blending because we used our handy dandy finger, I will pick up a different brush. This is a Morphe brush. It doesn't have the name of the brush, but it's just a smaller tapered brush than my MAC one that I just used. Here they are in comparison. This one's pretty clean-ish. So now what I'm going to do is, since this has essentially no product on it, I am going to just blend in this shimmer shade. I'm not going to drag it out, but I do want to make sure that it's nice and even and not just a harsh line, as I've mentioned before. We're almost done here, guys. I feel like that was a very quick eyeshadow look. So taking a flat shading brush, I am going to pick up the shade Nectar, the kind of yellowy one, and I'm gonna pop this right under my brow bone for a nice little highlight. It's a beautiful shade as well. I really like that yellow undertone. Okay, and then going back to my Sigma E40, hoping that there isn't a crap ton of product on it, we're gonna blend out those harsh edges again. Now blending the brow bone highlight shadow into that first color that we first laid down. All right, so moving on to winged liner or eyeliner. I have a lot of favorite products when it comes to eyeliner, and it really just depends on what kind of event you're attending. If it's an everyday look that you're doing and you kind of are just running errands, or you're going to the movies or a date night or whatever, I feel like that doesn't really, I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but I don't know if you necessarily need it to last you like all night and have the most durable eyeliner ever. So with that being said, I do have my favorite eyeliners when it comes to everyday look, and I have a very big event that I need it to last all day, rain or shine, tears, all of that, the works. For that, if you have a very special event like that that you need it to last all day, I would highly recommend the Inglot 77 Gel Liner. I've been using this eyeliner for so long. I don't always like to recommend it to people, especially if you are a beginner with winged liner or a beginner in makeup. It is extremely permanent. That is why I don't like to suggest it to people, especially if you're just starting out, because it's not gonna budge. So if you mess up, you're essentially just gonna have to start from scratch with your makeup, because taking it off is a pain in the tush. That is what I'm gonna be using today, because like I said, I need my makeup to last me a while. It's gonna be later on in the evening, so I don't wanna maybe sweat throughout the day and have my eyeliner transfer, which tends to happen with some of the other ones that I use. I am going to be filming a compare and contrast eyeliner video. I found a eyeliner at the dollar store, so I definitely wanna give it a try, but I don't wanna test it out today. So, I am going to be using my favorite eyeliner brush. It is the MAC 208, and I have my Inglot Gel Liner right here. So the very first thing that I'm going to do, now that I have my product on my brush, I'm going to do a simple line right across my eye. This eyeliner is most definitely very intimidating, even to me now, and I've been using it for such a long time, but it's so worth it because I know it's not gonna budge, and I know that it's gonna last me all day. Okay, so now that you see that I have this full line, I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye really quick. Okay, so now that I feel like the line on both of my eyes is fairly even, I'm gonna go ahead and start the process of the wing, which is always the most nerve-wracking. So what I'm gonna do is, before I dip my brush into more product, I'm going to flick out a line on both eyes and make sure that those first match up. So here we go, wish me luck. So those look fairly even to me, so now I'm going to draw the line back this way. So now that they are connected, I don't know if you can see, but there's a nice little blank space in there for me to go ahead and fill it in. But before I do that, let's go ahead and even it out on this side. Now I will get plenty of product now that we have our general shape out. Sorry guys, it's really hard to talk when you're doing wing liner. If you know what I'm talking about, you can relate. Alright you guys, so that concludes this segment of this video, the quick eyeshadow and eyeliner tutorial. So the next step is going to be the final step, which would be applying false lashes. So please check back for that tutorial. It will be up very soon. I want to thank you guys for taking time out of your day to watch this video, and I hope to see you back for the next one.